The plan was to go to a Workaway isolated in the wild, where we'd have no signal and be completely off the grid for a couple weeks. You could say I was betting on my host's goodwill. So I first took a bus from Mysore to Madikeri, then a jeep picked me up for an hour ride towards the forest. When we reached it, it became clear that we were getting further and further away from civilization, since we would pick up the few villagers that we found on the way and the road was becoming rough. At that point, I was just hoping it was worth it and that I didn't make a mistake. First things first, let me tell you what I'm doing here. In the mountain range of Coorg, there's a big problem: deforestation. Since the conditions are ideal for coffee, people have been planting it all around, driving wildlife away. But Rajan had a different vision. 20 years ago, he decided to buy some land and reverse this trend by rewilding the area. He dreamed of a sanctuary where the human footprint would be kept to a minimum. And he built it. He's completely self-sufficient with his own energy, his own irrigation system, and of course his own food. And guess what? It worked, and faster than expected. Animals are coming back, including elephants who come to eat at night, and the place is returning to its former beauty. It's quite breathtaking, actually. Now you know about the project, but what am I doing here? I think the best way to explain what a workaway is to show you what I do on a regular day. Usually I'd wake up at 5:30 to do my yoga. Actually, I can't tell you a story without introducing the main characters. Okay, back to business. My day would always begin with taking the dogs for a nice walk in the forest. Though more often than not, I felt like I was the one being walked. But I was always rewarded with the best breakfast, porridge, and very fresh duck eggs. A good boost before taking on the gardening tasks. I'd usually take my break when it gets too hot to be outside. And after lunch, I'd take care of the farm. And if it seems nice and sweet, just remember I'm protecting your ears. But my favorite part may just be the end of the day, when we could all relax together. So you guessed it, a Workaway is helping your host in their daily life. In return, you get free food and accommodation in addition to learning a lot. And I mean a lot, because there were many side quests and no 2 days were alike. We would find all sorts of plants, so I asked all sorts of questions. And since we were surrounded by abandoned coffee plants, I asked if we could make wild coffee. Oh. Lesson learned, making coffee is a tedious process and far from easy. At least, it makes you appreciate things you take for granted. And that's exactly why I came here in the first place. I wanted to reconnect with real things, detox my mind, all the while discovering an unexpected side of India with its beautiful forests that few people know about. In a world like ours, it's refreshing to hear good news and see hopeful projects like this that show positive change is possible. The dedication of my hosts to save wilderness and their passion for nature definitely sparked something in me, and for that, I couldn't thank them enough. It wasn't easy to say goodbye, and it certainly wasn't easy to hit the road again. I was heading to Kerala, the amazing green state, and for that I had to take the car, the bus, and then a night train. And my first train ride was memorable, but it was all worth it, because I was back on my adventure.